What's going on, everybody? It's Fate Dating Coach Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about something a little, I don't want to say manipulating, but I feel like sometimes you need to do this in order to get a man to straighten up, invest more, and stay consistent. And that is, unfortunately, you might have to deceive a man. You might have to kind of be a little more mysterious, longer than necessary in order to get him to commit. Now, I guess at one moment I was very hesitant on putting this video out because it sounds very gamey, and I feel like if you're truly talking to a healthy individual who wants a relationship, who likes you and stuff like that, I think the games are very minimal when you find those type of men. However, here's the problem. You have to understand that it's a game. Dating is a game of risk, and it's always, I think it's better off to assume risk until proven otherwise, if that makes sense. When I say risk, I mean assume the guy is, also playing the game. Assume that the guy is also doing this for fun and again, until proven otherwise, until he is consistent, he is investing his resources over time, he is showing green flags instead of red flags, and eventually commits. And sometimes, like I said, it takes a little longer for you to see that kind of stuff from men because you don't know what type of man you're talking to. Hopefully that all, kind of bundles this together. So here's the thing, ladies. As you know, I say in all my videos, men are very resourceful with their resources, time, energy, effort, money, stuff like that. If a guy can cut off the corners and skip the front of the line and get whatever, if he can make it easier for himself, he's going to. If you have two guys or two alternate universes where one guy takes you out and courts you and does all these things, and then takes you home and has his way with you, versus the guy who just says, hey, do you want to come over? And it works, and you come over and he has his way with you. He's always going to go with the latter, right? The second option just saves on resources. That's how a lot of people are. Doesn't mean that guy doesn't like you. It's just more logical to do that. And again, that's not black and white. I'm not saying that's all men, all situations. It's just kind of a mindset I think people need to have, which is, I think one of the reasons why women get in the situations they are in is because they feel that, oh, if a man really likes me, he'll do this, he'll do that, that's not true. So then when a man does do those things, she's like, oh, this man really likes me. This man really likes me. And then she lowers her guard, and that's when the guy comes in for the attack, okay? If, again, that makes sense. So the reason I'm saying all this is, if a man's very resourceful, he has, and the game is all about risk, okay? Like I say, I say the game's all about risk. He wants to make the right choice. The right choice is based off what he sees, what he experiences, how you act and react, and your IOIs, what I call indicators of interest, I guess showing signs of interest, right? I call this the evidence. Now, of course, there's good and there's bad evidence. Bad evidence is the things that kind of push, that show me, okay, I'm not as far along as I wanted, or she's not as interested as I thought, stuff like that. Good evidence is, signs she's digging me, signs I'm further along than I thought, signs that I have it in the bag, signs that we have good communication, reciprocity, or not reciprocity, compatibility, things like that, okay? Here's the thing women need to understand. Men are constantly scanning for evidence, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. They're constantly scanning for evidence so they can adapt their game plan to save resources. So here's an example of this. If you and I go on 2 dates, 3 dates, and the first 2 days were me taking you out, having a nice date and stuff like that, and making you laugh, paying for a good dinner, building some type of rapport, the third date, right? So he sees all the good evidence from the first 2 dates. The third date, he might ask you to come over. So that if you experience that, this is why it's happening. A man's just not going to take you on extravagant dates for 10 dates straight. That's not going to happen. It's a waste of resources if he can get it for a better price. Now, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't go over there. I think there's a lot of things that come into play with that. But a guy is adapting. Now, because he's adapting, there's a concept that I call like the absolute truth in dating. And what that essentially means is you know the outcome. One party knows the outcome and the other doesn't. And this can go on both ends. So for example, if you and I go on a date and you're showing me all these signs and I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to sleep with her tonight, but you know for a fact you're not going to sleep with me. Again, I don't know. I look at the signs, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting it in. But you already told yourself, there's no way I'm sleeping with Elliot tonight. Well, then you have I call it the wider lens too, absolute truth, the wider lens, whatever you want to call it. Like, you know more, you see more, a bigger perspective of what's going on. You know you're not going to sleep with me. So no matter what I do, you know the end results, okay? Same with like on the opposite end, or I guess not the, well, I guess it is opposite. If a man, and if you and I are dating, and you feel like it's moving towards a relationship, but I know I can't give you a relationship, again, I have the wider lens, or I know the absolute truth, because I know at the end of the day, I can't give you a relationship, okay? So this stuff is very, very, very important. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I am a big believer that you don't want to, I'm not saying play games. I know it sounds like it. I'm not saying play games. I'm not saying be cold. I'm not saying be a bitch. I'm not saying never reach out. I'm not saying you don't got to show any effort or interest in a guy. Of course you should. But I do think there is a spectrum, okay, on how much to do. Or at least you should stay in this, like, you should stay in a range to kind of throw him off. Because if you're only giving him good signs, good, he's just going to move it along. He's just going to push it forward. And it's going to get to a point where he's, he's taking you, right, for granted. And we do not want that. Then a man will only take you for granted if he's getting the valuable assets time and time again on the clock, when he knows he can get it whenever he asks for it. Again, constantly. And I don't think it should be that constant 100% unless you're in a relationship and it's a happy, healthy, loving, caring relationship. If that's the case and you guys want to bang every night, bang every night. You guys want to be little freaks, do whatever, right? You're a happy, healthy, loving couple, and I think sex is healthy, especially, you know, that good emotional shit in a relationship. But until then, I think there should be a range, ladies. I really do think, again, I guess deceive is the wrong word, but I want you to create mystery. I don't want it to constantly be good. You know, because again, a guy's just going to run with that. So if you want evidence, or if you want more on this, I have a power dynamic guide that goes directly over this, or that dives deeper into this situation. Link is down below. Literally a guide strictly on power dynamics. But I do feel like you should be asking yourself how much to give a guy. And the reason for that also, kind of go a little off topic, is what I call context. I'm sure you all know this already, but context, for those who don't know, it's the things you guys do and say over time that layers in a relationship that creates this serious vibe. So if you're constantly doing all these good things, you're sleeping with him on the first date, you guys are moving very fast, he says I love you, you meet his friends and family, you plan a future date, you're staying over, you're leaving shit over, and this is all like in the first 2 months, that's way too fast. You're either going to have a guy who runs with it and gets all the benefits, and probably what's going to happen after that is he's going to get in his head, right? He's going to question like, oh shit, let me put oh shit here. He's going to say, oh shit, what's going on? This is too fast, and you're going to have a guy go like this. So for the ladies, please leave a comment below. If you are, or if this has happened to you where things are going really, really well for a while, and then all of a sudden this shit smacks you in the face, it sucker punches you, and it happens out of nowhere where he's good 1 week and then he changes the next, and you're thinking, what the hell just happened? Or he changes over some little dumb shit. This is why. Leave a comment below if this has happened to you, okay? This is why. Okay, because it was probably really good, too good. He ran with it. And again, usually emotionally unavailable people move faster. If that's the case, the guy's going to get in his head, freak out, and pull back here, which is all the more reason I think women should be a little more, I hate to use the word deceiving, so I'm going to say mysterious. They should be a little more mysterious and have a guy wonder where he stands with you. Because if he's trying to figure out where he stands with you, right, he's going to put more effort in. That's what the whole effort thing is with courtship, ladies, and people don't understand that. The reason a man courts a woman is not to only prove himself, but to see where he stands in her eyes. Because after a certain point of doing so many things, usually a woman gives IOIs, indicators of interest. She usually gives some leeway to the guy and kind of reveals her cards, which isn't bad. You should do that, women. It should never be one-sided, but it has to be earned. If it's not, he's going to take you for granted. If you want a man to invest more into you and you want him to do it consistently, I think there should be some mystery. I do think it does create more effort on his part. And like I said, he's going to adapt it all by the evidence that you show. And again, if you want more information on what evidence is and power dynamics, again, check out my guides. I have like 9 of them, right, for the price of 1 down below. But with that being said, ladies, if you want that or to get a session with me, I can help you that 1 hour. Hey, simple. I can clear all this up in 1 hour for you, leave you going to bed all happy, smiling, knowing what the hell you need to do next, okay? Or having a game plan on this guy, the clarity. I will give you clarity that he has not given you, okay? That's usually what happens, unfortunately. So with that being said, I love you all. Take care and peace.